Hello beer tubers and welcome to the Master of Hoppets MBCC 2023 video. We're kicking off with a heavy hitter from Resident Culture. This is Bourbon Barrel Aged Ego Death with Vanilla Beans. It's an Imperial stout aged in Willet bourbon barrels for 14 months and then conditioned on toasted hazelnut cacao nibs and 1 pound per barrel of Tahitian vanilla beans, 12.5%. We're here again. We didn't do videos last year because I was here with work, but this year we're going to do some videos and have some fun. So let's start out with a banger, hopefully. It smells like a banger. Loads of vanilla and hazelnutty fudgy chocolate. It smells dope. What a start. What a start. This is really nice. Onrush of vanilla. Loads of deep barrel and fudge. Totally modern American Imperial stout, like really thick and rich and gloopy. Wonderful. Huge vanilla, huge craziness. It's all you want in like a pastry type stout. It's really sweet, but it has like a roast profile and charry barrel, so it's not too much. 2 thumb up, straight out of the gate. Let's do this. Cheers. Okay, guys, so we're here with Kevin from Clack. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, how you doing?
First time at MBCC?
Yes, first time. We have a great time so far, so.
Good to hear. You been around?
We've ventured the city and saw some sights and sounds, so it's good. It's good to pour beer for people that want to drink beer, so.
So, Kevin, I wanted to have a chat with you guys because you're one of the only brewers this yellow section pouring a West Coast IPA. West Coast double IPA.
Yes. I just wanted to send as many different styles as possible. There's no, like, hey, we don't only make one style good. I think we make all styles pretty good. So, plus, it's Friday morning. I figure like a little bit lighter. I don't want to hit people over the head with barrel-aged stouts at 11 a.m. So I thought a crisp Helles and a nice clear West Coast.
Super clear.
Clean, crisp West Coast would be perfect to start the session off.
So this is a double IPA. It was Citra and...
Citra, Mosaic, and Columbus.
Yeah.
So
it's a pretty nice hop combo. Some classic hops in there.
Very classic. I was trying to essentially like clone Pliny the Elder from Russian River. Because I love that beer. I think it's a terrific beer. And if I was going to make a West Coast, that's the one you try to make West Coast after because it's the king. It's top of the mountain. So, but I figured start them off with a nice, clean, crisp West Coast IPA. Not too many hops. Really smooth drinking. Refreshing on a Friday morning. So
yes, and it's really nice in a sea of haze.
Yes.
Like I really hope more brewers in Europe will, acknowledge the West Coast is coming back because it's happening in the States, right?
Yes, it is happening. Yeah, even like the strictly hazy only breweries are making West Coast now because I think people just
they're juiced out.
They're juiced out, and I think like some styles just don't die. The classics don't die. Like people still make lagers, German lagers. Like they just don't die. Like they'll always be fans of the old classic styles. Not that West Coast is old, but...
No, but there also seems to be a trend of reworking it a bit, and like doing big dry hop charges, like like you do in East Coast IPAs and cold whirlpools and all these things.
For sure. Like, I mean, you always beer's ever evolving. That's why it's so fun. Like, there's never a set recipe. It's never like, this is how it works. Like, it has to be this, it has to be this. Like, you can do whatever you want. That's really great. It's like cooking or being a chef. Like, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. So, like, I mean, this is pretty close to West Side IPA, but like I kind of threw a little flair on it. I didn't do completely everything to the book, so
it's really freaking good. I really like it.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm looking forward to trying the other West Coast IPA today as well.
Oh, there's only one more, right?
Yeah, in this session.
Oh, you said Moonlight, yeah.
Yeah. So great job.
Unfortunately, that's the only West Coast IPA we brought here, but
you do more.
We have done more. It's the only one I sent to the festival. So I try to send every session a different style of beer.
Makes sense.
Helleses and Pilsners and barley wines and stouts and West Coast IPAs and, of course, hazy IPAs because, that's fan favorites. So
awesome, man. Well, thanks a ton for taking some time to talk with us.
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely awesome beer. Guys, check out Clack if you get the chance. Cheers.
Cheers.
So we're drinking some of the arguably most hyped beer of America, Toppling Goliath. In the last few years when they've been at MBCC, they poured mainly hoppy stuff, but today they're pouring, this year, stouts as well. I think tomorrow they are pouring Vanilla Bean Assassin, today they have the Moxa Anniversary Stout. 7th or 6th anniversary or something like that. Or was it 10th? I'll put it in the video. Coffee and vanilla. Imperial Stout bourbon barrels, I think. Really rich vanilla. It's almost like leathery. Lots of fudge, lots of bourbon. I think the vanilla outshines the coffee. Yeah, it smells really good. It's a huge vanilla bomb, like slightly dark fruity as well. Really rich, but also quite well balanced. Almost like there's so much vanilla. It's almost like eating vanilla pods. Like, I think this is the most vanilla forward beer I've ever had. Really oily, really sticky. It's really nice. Fucking good. And we're in the way and the camera is crooked, so let's cut it short right there. Okay guys, we're drinking some Lua, and this is all. We, prior to this, had even more big pastry stouts. We had the Mox Anniversary, and we had Unoya number, I think it was 13 from Phase 3, both vanilla beers. They're awesome. I preferred Unoya a little bit just because it had more stout character and it was a bit more like umami heavy and barrel forward. The Moxa one was great, but I think it was also like, to my taste, almost too much vanilla. But this is all, and this is hazelnut, chocolate, coconut, and cinnamon. Rye Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. Definitely cinnamon. And what's interesting with me, so growing up with being used to cassia bark, Ceylon cinnamon, which this is, almost smells artificial to me. And that's just because I'm not used to that kind of cinnamon aroma. But it's more of a balanced cinnamon type character. Like fudgy cinnamon and chocolate. A little bit of the hazelnut, loads of bourbon. Let's try it. As I said before, best stout today. This has got umami, it's got a rich base, lots of fudge, but also like cherry barrel, spicy rye. This interesting cinnamon, like the cinnamon and coconut in it, almost like, it reminds me of being a kid going to Disneyland and having like coconut, some kind of coconut candy. It's weird. That's just the first thought. But it's like all, like, since it's Ceylon cinnamon, it's much more of a soft cinnamon than cassia. It's not like raspy. And then like loads of barrel, loads of chocolate, loads of fudge, but loads of umami and richness. Like this, I think, is the best stout, pastry stout of the fest. It's pretty damn great. Awesome. 2 thumbs up. But now I think we need something that's not black, heavy, and barrel aged. Let's get some lagers or something. Cheers. Hey everyone, so we're here with a blogging crowd. We got Hopskull Beer Guide, we got Craft Beer Valkyrie, and we got Beer Cause at MBCC. What is your favorite beer so far? Beer Cause.
I will do the Three Sons. Three Deadly Sins.
How come?
Well, it's the one who brings me back to childhood. You know that in Denmark we have this kind of tree-colored ice cream. It's called the tricolor. And if you take apart the strawberry, which nobody likes, and you just have the chocolate and the vanilla, and put those together, and you are young, and you are a child, that kind of mix. That's the same thing I got for that beer. It's just putting me back to childhood. I was so happy and pleased.
So, trefalis in Danish. Isn't that what we call it?
Tricolor.
Tricolor. What about you, Craft Beer Valkyrie?
So I want to really represent the Danish breweries. So I really like Pleasantry Street's Constella, which is a barrel-aged barley wine. So it has like a really nice depth to it and really nice taste and like nose, I guess. Yeah.
I think that was really good. I think that rivals a lot of the American stuff being poured.
Yeah. And I really want to take a fight for the Danish breweries and this all. There's a lot of udenlandske foreign breweries, but I really want to fight for the Danish ones today. Yeah.
They are making great beer. What about you, Hopskull?
Well, actually, I'm just a little hype boy running around trying all the highly rated stuff, but it was actually last session. The biggest surprise for me was Clack with their Super Clear. I'm a sucker for modern West Coast IPAs. After Peter introduced me with Slice Brewing, Super Clear was this really rich, gasoline-y, Nelson Sauvin forward modern West Coast IPA. And I really want to try more from Clack, but also I want to highlight, what the fuck was it called? Clack and Dankhouse. Yeah, Dankhouse. So if you're going to try some Hybristi's or Hazy's, try those two.
Yeah, and I think besides that, the only other West Coast last session was Moonlight.
Yeah, true.
But that was like really old school and like insanely bitter, but also nice.
Exactly.
But if you guys do not follow these guys online, check them out. Beer Cause, Craft Beer Valkyrie, and Hopskull Beer Guide. Cheers. We're here with Rob from Pulpit Rock from Decorah, Iowa. Say hi, Rob.
Hello.
So you guys are very well known for big pastry beers. Is that a big thing in Iowa?
It's become our specialty. It is a big thing in Iowa. But I'm actually very, very pumped to try some Danish spirits.
We're not trying Pulpit Rock beers in this video. We're trying Danish spirits. So you've never had Gammeldansk?
Not once.
How have you heard about it?
You guys don't shut up about it, so I want to try it.
By the way, I got recommended to drink these guys' beers, courtesy of my distant cousin in Decorah, who's 80. She told me, if you're going to this festival, you should try Pulpit Rock.
At the end of the day, it's a small world,
Yeah.
and drinks bring us together.
Yeah. Shout out to Harriet. So
Love you, Harriet.
So if we quickly talk a little bit about beer before diving into booze.
Yeah, sure.
So you guys are doing these heavy, big, crazy barrel-aged pastry stouts and whatnot.
Yep.
How did you end up doing like big types of stouts? Is that a preferred kind of beer for you guys, or?
It's been a slow progression over time. That's kind of a consumer preference, so they like bigger things. What I would say that we're most known for is the nut beers, like anything with like nuts in it, and we go out of our way with our process to make them. So here at MBCC, wonderful place. We're going to meet other brewers. We talk about our different processes of whether they're making sours or whatever they're doing. And for us, it's nuts, infusing nuts in a beer, and I don't know. That's kind of become our shtick, and it's like I make the phrase that we do multiple infusions with our beers, and it's like you make a stock, and then you make the soup with the stock base, and that's the only way I have to the only food analogy that I have to describe what we do with our beer. That you have to have a base flavor, and then you throw the accent on top. So,
Very nice. I think that's the first time I ever hear something like that, talking about doing an adjunct addition. Do you brew a special base for the beers as well, or how does that work?
So basically, the base is the same for all of our stouts. We basically fill our kettle all the way full of just strictly, we call it first runnings, in English. Basically a high gravity, high Plato wort, and then that boils down, and then we overnight, and then we fill it back up with the same wort, and so it's very thick at the end. And then the key is that the yeast really doesn't want to ferment this, and so it'll only do like part of the job, and so there's so much like residual sugar like when you drink it. And that's because of the poor fermentation, and that's our fault, really. But it's what the destined product is required. So I don't know. We happened upon it, and we became famous for it, and I don't know why.
People love it.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So Are you ready to drink some Danish booze?
Always.
So we're gonna start off with this, and you actually already had this.
Yeah, I got a bottle.
Can you hold that? So, Aalborg Aquavit. We're from Aalborg. It's a city in the north.
Yeah.
This factory used to make this in Gammel Dansk. Aquavit, you know Aquavit because you're from Decorah.
Yeah.
Everyone drinks it there, or is it just
No, I'm weird. I like.
Did you say I'm weird?
I am weird.
I am too, so it's okay.
No. I'm not ashamed of it. No, I love all infused
Weird.
liquors. Like I love gin, Italian Amari. Like I love all of it. So
Awesome. Well, let's have a sip of this first. So you know this, and you've had it before. I don't know if you've had it lukewarm.
that sweet taste of caraway. And yes, I've had it lukewarm
Well, let's have some lukewarm.
with fish.
Oh yes, pickled herring. So here we go, a little shot and a little shot. What are you picking up on a spirit like this?
Caraway.
Yeah. They also make variants with dill.
Really? There's a distillery in Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin. They make a gin with mint. It's really interesting. It's not my favorite, but I love really herbaceous things. But no, this is. I think like the perception of people in the U.S. when they think of aquavit, they think of the
German stuff maybe, or
yeah,
what?
like the
schnapps, peach schnapps.
like star anise, like
Right.
the anise flavor. But I learned that caraway is actually the traditional,
It is.
and I like it.
I think should we do a Danish drinking song? Do you know any?
Yeah.
I do one. Go with me.
I don't know any.
So, vi skåler for vores venner, og dem som vi kender, og dem som vi ikke kender, dem skåler vi med. Skål!
So I know skål, and I love to eat dim sum. So cheers.
Cheers. So basically it goes saying cheers to people you don't know and friends, and we don't care who you are, but we just like to drink. That's basically how it is.
You'd fit right in, or we'd fit right in. So.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's good. I like it.
It's very common with the Danish brunch
the
lunch table.
The one thing we don't have, how do you say, smørbrød? Smørbrød.
Yes.
Smørbrød.
Great. Yeah.
In America, we call it smorgasbord, and that literally means just putting everything you have in your fridge or in your cabinet on the table. Not the same thing. Anyway, I really like herring, like pickled herring.
Yeah.
And this would be perfect with like rye bread, with the onions.
The saying in Denmark is that when you have pickled herring, you have to have aquavit on the side because the pickled herring needs to swim. That's how it is. It's kind of like when they have in Sweden, they have their songs when they have crawfish in the spring or the summer.
Yeah.
So we have the same, just with herring.
Well,
So we have herring songs.
These are traditions that I'm loving to learn right now.
Yeah, I shot it in once. So, Gammel Dansk is up next.
Is that the tradition? You have to.
The tradition is shooting it, one go. What we just had was what you'd call an embarrassing shot. So when you get aquavit, if you get a glass like this, you get it full, and that's a normal pour, and then you get a half. It's called pinlig, and that means embarrassing.
Why?
Because you're only having a half. So that's like the names.
You could have another half.
Yeah.
And then that would be full. And then
If you go to a Danish lunch or a dinner place that serves smørbrød, for example, where we're from, you get a huge glass like this of aquavit, and it's kind of like a tulip shape, and they pour in so much that
To
there's
the brim.
so there's surface tension.
Oh, the water.
And then you have to drink it without breaking the surface tension.
It's like Japan where they overpour the sake.
Yeah. Just as this tastes like caraway. So this is a first for you, right?
Yeah, I've never had it.
So Gammel Dansk is a bitter, very famous in Denmark. It's made from a mix of 29 different herbs and spices, 38%.
Caraway better be in there.
Yeah, and I think cinnamon and wormwood and all kinds of weird stuff.
Have you had Beherevka from the Czech Republic?
Yes, I have.
That's good.
It's quite nice. Have you had Malort?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of a little bit similar to that, or something like Underberg.
So when you talk about an embarrassing shot, we have like hazing shots in America where.
What did you call it? Hazing?
Hazing, like when you love somebody but you do something mean to them, and you give them Malort. Because nobody likes it.
Okay, well, let's have some here. So, this used to be made in Aalborg as well, and yeah, I think it's milder. Have you had Underberg before?
No.
Okay.
So I love Fernet Branca.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But so much cinnamon.
Yeah, I mean, if you love
This,
Fernet Branca, I think you'll like this a lot.
No, it reminds me more of the Beherevka, the Czech.
Oh yeah, the one you mentioned. Yeah. I'm also smelling a lot of orange, like bitter orange.
Cinnamon orange.
So when growing up, I was used to going on vacation, and this is something my parents and grandparents would have in the morning with breakfast.
It smells like Christmas to me.
Should we try it?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cool.
This one is okay to bite
I
over.
thought you were gonna just like,
No. You only shoot snaps fully.
Oh, it's good.
This is okay to nibble on.
Why?
I don't know. That's
Culture.
just the way of doing it.
Culture.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's good.
You like this or aquavit more?
My personal taste, I think I would like aquavit more. The Aalborg.
Yeah.
Wherever it is.
Aalborg, yeah.
Oh no, this. I just don't like in America we call it warm spices, so like cinnamon.
There's a lot of warm spices.
Like cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, all that stuff, allspice. I'm very seasonal, and I like it, but I would prefer. I would rather drink is it Aalborg or what?
Aalborg.
Aalborg.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. So, if we jump back to beer, could you ever see yourself using an aquavit barrel for a pastry stout?
Pastry stout? No, actually, I'm really excited about this. So we make our own huleøl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We are gonna bring beer back to Norway one day. So we put we call it a barley wine, but like a thinner barley wine into a gin barrel, let it rest for about a year, and then pop it out and steep it on juniper, bay leaf, and sage.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, and like it was a random shot, and people in Decor love it. And I don't know, it's like one of the beers that it's never going to be highly rated. People don't seek it out, but it's one of my favorite things to make. Like we're known for the pastry beers, but
you love that beer?
Yeah. For our common love of aquavit and other things. So like I said, like love-infused liquors. I just don't love the cinnamon as much, but I'll drink a bunch of it, whatever.
But you got to take it off your list. Now you tried it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Skål.
Skål. Thanks for sticking around for a fun little tasting. This was great. Cheers. Okay, guys, it's day 2. I look like shit because I got the great idea to drink Rauchbier very late at night at Femtoren yesterday. But don't mind that. We're drinking awesome beer again and meeting some cool people. And right now I'm here drinking Minutiae 22 from Phase 3. I had their West Coast Pilsner first. Maybe I would just drink that beer all day today. That was amazing. But this is a barrel-aged Imperial Stout that's aged in a blend of Heaven Hill, Elijah Craig, and Rabbit Hole Cave Hill bourbon barrels for around 19 months. So just barrel and time. That's something I like. I could smell it just getting it. So huge, fudgy, rich bourbon character. Like you don't need all these adjuncts these time. Like this has plenty of coconut and fudge and vanilla. Like it's got that brownie batter thing. It's very beer barrel time-esque. Maybe not as rich, but still really freaking rich. Let's try it. What a beer to start with. That is so rich. I said it wasn't going to be that rich. It's really oily. It's really thick. Like, stout mouthfeels are getting so rich. This is kind of like a similar mouthfeel to something like Medianoche from Weltworks. It's actually very similar to like the barrel-aged Medianoches without barrel. It's just a little bit less soy saucy and umami heavy, although there's a lot. Fucking dope beer, though. Really good. Brownie batter fudge, caramel, loads of bourbon, loads of vanilla, loads of coconut. Yeah, I prefer these kind of stouts these days. Like, yeah, it's nice with the adjuncts, but sometimes I just want a really good barrel expression. Great start. Let's go find some more. Cheers. So, we're here with Kim from Too Old to Die Young, and he has a special treat for us. We actually just drank your West Coast Double IPA, which was awesome.
Yep. And this is a new West Coast lager that we made. So it's, it's basically a hybrid. So we did the whole Pilsner thing that we usually do. A good Pilsner base malt, Heidelberg, and then we fermented it with a lager yeast, a bit higher temperature than normal. And then we hopped it with Incognito, Mosaic, and Citra Lupomax, and a lot of Motueka to get some citrusy notes. Still a bit of the old school piney thing from the Mosaic, and a bit of dankness as well. So, and hopefully it's still crystal clear as we packaged it. It hasn't got. I hope so. It hasn't got too much haze or anything. So
let's see. I'm stoked. You know, I love the trend of West Coast Pilsners and all this.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing, and I think you're a hophead as well.
Indeed.
Well, if you don't know Kim already, he's also known for hops and haze.
Yeah.
And he's done a lot of hoppy stuff, so you know your hops. But I'm stoked that you guys are doing something like this, and it's clear.
It is. It is indeed. Very light straw color and everything.
Yeah.
Good amounts of bubbles. So.
Yeah. It smells really good. I totally get the Mosaic.
Yeah, indeed. And it's actually only in the whirlpool that we've used the Mosaic. So
wow.
It's just from the Incognito.
Okay.
So.
Well, cheers. Let's try it. Oh yeah, you can drink this beer all day.
Exactly.
Dude, this might. So I had a West Coast Pilsner from Phase 3, and Phase 3 was awesome. It was great.
Yeah.
I like this one more.
Thank you. We've been next to Phase 3. We're standing next to Phase 3, and I had their West Coast lager as well, and I was just like, it's not very far off, and we almost use the same hops as well. So it's.
I think this seems a bit more saturated on hop flavor.
Yeah.
And it's impressive with the Mosaic, because I get a lot of Mosaic like digging in on the palate, like that kind of blueberry kush kind of weed thing.
Yeah, but I also think Lupomax Citra also has some of that. I mean, it's a bit more standardized pellet in terms of you don't have so much fluctuation between lot numbers. So it's a bit more, you know what you get, and it is a bit more dank than the bright citrus thing you can get from the T90 pellet. So it's definitely different.
So it's basically kind of like a cryo pellet, right?
Yeah, not as much. It's a 30% cleansed T90, where cryo is, I think it's 45 or something. So it's not as intense. It still has some more vegetal material, but they mix up a lot of lots, so you get a more standard thing that you can actually base the production better on, in my opinion. So if you do a lot of beers that has a base of Lupomax, it's easier for us to actually make them again. We don't have the fluctuation in lot numbers. So for us,
that's really nice.
Yeah. And
I mean,
yeah, the Motueka as well gives a bit of that lime zesty, a bit of dankness as well, I think.
Yeah, like for me, I always associate Motueka with mango as well, but I totally see like it's like zesty, it's very bright.
Yeah.
It's like pin bright. It's really dank. It's like it's borderline West Coast IPA, but it's not as bitter. But it's like this is a beer. So Kim was kind enough to sneak this from the Brewers Lounge, and if this is not one of the beers that runs out first today, I don't know what's wrong. No. Like in the Brewers Lounge, I mean it. Like I think most brewers will love this as well. I think it's a great job.
Thank you.
It's I could drink this all day.
Perfect. That's good.
2 thumbs up. Thanks a ton for having a chat and sharing it with us, man. Cheers. Okay, guys, we're here for the final session, and we're here with Cascio from Spartacus. Hey, man.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing? Have you had a good festival so far?
It's great so far here with this crowd. Great energy here at MBCC. It's been a pleasure.
So we're having one of your highest rated beers right now. And just look at this. I mean, this is crazy. A huge line. So can you tell us a little bit about it? This has, I guess, been in development for a while because you've really worked on your barrel program.
Yeah, this is a blend of very old beers. We started with a very heavy base beer with very high final gravities. The blend ended up with 33% of old Fitzgerald, which we aged for 24 months. More 33% of Weller, OWA, more 26 months. And we try to give a punch of alcohol to the beer and a strength of the distillate. So you add a 12 months Pikesville rye just to increase the tobacco profile of the beer, which later you age them with vanilla beans from Uganda, coconut, and also Earl Grey tea to give
Earl Grey tea.
Earl Grey tea.
Wow.
Just to give a sort of complexity and more depth to the rye barrel profile.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard of anyone using that in a barrel-aged stout.
Yeah, probably. I have some friends, the H States guy from South Carolina in the West, they used to. And you just had this great idea and you shared this beer in the past, so why not try it?
Yeah. So I have not had it yet. I've not had it yet, and I can tell you, it smells insane. So, cheers. Oh, dude. That's good shit. Can I be honest right now?
Do it.
There's a lot of hype stouts here. This definitely rivals it. Seriously, dude. There's so much fudgy vanilla, and so much barrel.
Yeah, indeed. So, like I told you, so that it consists of very old barrels. So we gave enough time to pull all the strength, all the complexity of those barrels, and those micro compounds from the wood. So it's all there.
It's amazing, man. I also love that it has roastiness and umami too. It's not it's got some of that to give some layering and depth. So it's not just all sweet pastry-esque. It's got pastry type flavors, but I love that you get that depth of roasty umami, as you said, tobacco kind of. It's really good.
Yeah, the main objective was to have the complexity of adjuncts, but keeping the barrel alive. That's why barrel-aged beer. So the main objective is to make this a big canvas of layers of complexity and have people enjoy in the end and try to identify all those layers in separate things.
Hats off. Really, really freaking good job, man. I actually think this is one of the best beers I've had on the festival. So hats off. This is crazy good. Congrats on it. And awesome with your whole barrel program trying to do these things. I think it's really cool because I think a lot of beer geeks, they're thinking Brazil and they're thinking maybe not hype stout, but here we go.
Yeah, you're pushing your barrel program since late 2018. So you're just increasing the amount of barrels you have and increase your learning curve about them. And you keep everything under control, temperature, humidity, and we take care very much about this because I see the barrel program as the head of the spear of our brand, which people reminds this every time, the very good barrel-aged Spartacus beer. So I have to take care of this, and it's like my little child.
Yeah.
I take care of this as the deep of my heart.
Yeah. Well, you can show in the product. You can see it, or it shows in the product. It's fantastic. If you guys ever get the chance, try some of the Spartacus. Have you anything cool in the pipeline with barrel aging?
Beer Dome, they just received great numbers of 5, the beer which you're drinking right now. You're gonna have in the future some collab from some American breweries, and also it's fine. You guys always receive our beers from South America straight to the Beer Dome, so you're gonna have a good availability here in Europe.
Good to hear. So, like, guys, for sure, check out Spartacus. Thanks a ton for taking time to chat with us. It was awesome, man. Great job on this one. Love it. Cheers.
See you guys.
This has been amazing. What a great festival. So many awesome people, so many great beers. We're finishing with an awesome modern West Coast IPA from Willibald in Canada. And it's stank, it's bright, it's fruity, it's bitter, it's dry. It's exactly what I want right now. Highlights of the festival, hanging out with awesome people. The beer is amazing. There's so much dope beer. But we get to meet so many of you guys and so many fantastic brewers. And so much stuff is not on camera. You have to come here and experience it for yourself. It's a joy. So thanks for an amazing MBCC 2023. We're going to be here next year, I'm sure. This was, as always, a treat. So thanks a ton for watching this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram, and give the Master of Hoppets a thumbs up. And now I'm going to say cheers in some crispy, bitter, clear beer. And see you guys in another video. Cheers.